What do you think, buddy? This is picture perfect. Now, we're on the east side of Pelee Island?
East side of Pelee, yep.
Hi, I'm Darryl Choronzey. I'm with a real good friend of mine, and I am doing something different. I haven't fished with John in, I guess, 6 years we were talking,
Yep.
right? And anytime I want to catch a lot of fish, a variety of fish, and have a lot of fun, I want to get out on Lake Erie with John Sims, Chante charters, right?
That's right.
We're catching walleye like this,
Yep, these are beautiful fish.
you know, and they're all the same pretty well. They're 1 year class that we're going to be catching?
2003 year class.
2003?
Yep.
If you want to catch a lot of fish, come on out with John Sims. He can get you all the walleye, and as you're going to see, he can get you all the sheephead you want, too. Stick with us, because we're going fishing. Let's get these guys on ice. Okay.
I'm going fishing all the time, and my baby's going fishing too. Bet your life that your sweet wife can catch more fish than you. Any fish will bite if you got the right bait. Now here's a little something that I'd like to relate. With my pole and my line, I'm going fishing. Yes, I'm going fishing. My baby's going fishing too.
Going Fishing with Darryl Choronzey is brought to you in part by Yamaha, when you want the best. Abu Garcia, for life. Berkeley, catch more fish. And by Darryl Choronzey's Canadian Fisherman's Breading and Batter Mix. Closed captioning for Going Fishing is brought to you by Rapala, the makers of Canada's favorite fillet knives. This morning finds Choronzey paying a visit to his old friend John Sim, owner-operator of Lake Erie's Chante Charters. Sim is one of the pioneer sport fishing guides on the northwestern shore of Lake Erie and also out around the famous Pelee Island. If the walleye are on the scene, which is most often the case, John will find them. Sim is also one of the few Erie guides that pursues his walleye without the aid of downriggers, planer boards, or lead core line. In fact, today the boys are chasing down the quarry with the aid of a Lake Erie original bait, the weight-forward, lead-headed Erie Deary. So stay with us as the boys use the countdown method for catching Lake Erie walleye.
That was a 35 count. Darryl, I got a weapon on here.
Okay, so what exactly is the weapon? The weapon's a big leader with a spinner on it, right?
Yep, it's like a Carolina rig with a spinner on it.
Okay.
Yep, that's exactly what it is. It's
And you're still doing the countdown with that,
still a countdown and reeling it back slow.
And that was at a 35 count?
35 count.
Okay, so if that's a 35 count, how many feet down is that?
You're 35 feet down.
You're going to
You're almost to the bottom. We're in 38 feet of water right here, so.
You know, it's not good for the captain to catch the first fish. He's got a little bit of fight to him.
Oh, they're a lot of fun. They're a lot of fun.
Now, when you get customers out, and a lot of your customers are Canadians, you're saying you got more Canadians than Americans now.
Look at that. Isn't that a nice one?
Nice fish, dandy fish. Now, is it mostly full counts, like they'll limit out?
Oh, yeah. Yep, without any problem. And this is that year class I was talking about here.
Okay, where's your net?
Top there.
You want me to grab her for
Yep.
you? My rod out of the way, John, and then I'll get over here. Okay, so now what year class is this?
This one's a 03 year class right here.
That's gonna go, 2.5 to 3?
Yeah, that'll go 2 right there, two
And
and
they're
a half.
pretty well all standard size?
Yep, it'll be just like they're punched out of a mold here. So you can see that's a really nice fish.
So that's common for out here?
Yep, that would be your standard.
And you are, and this is no fish story, this guy pretty well limits out all the time with your customers. It's not all the time, but pretty well all the time.
I would say 75 to 80% of the time we get our limits, so.
Nice fish.
Yep.
You know, actually, it's cheaper to go fishing with you than to buy the fish in the grocery store.
I bet you it sure is.
It really is. That's about $17, $18 a pound, my friend.
Yeah. Wow.
Nice fish.
They are nice. I'll put them in the box here.
I'm gonna just set that right there. Mr. Sim, this better be my walleye. If this is another sheephead, no, I'd say I'm gonna jump in the lake, but the way things have been going, I'd be wet pretty quick.
Well, I traded you spots, Darryl.
Yeah,
I had
know.
to give you a chance.
No, there's
it's
a walleye.
nice walleye.
It's a nice walleye.
Yes, sir.
Eh?
Yes, sir.
Look at this, look at this walleye. That is a nice walleye. John, these are strong fish for this time of the year, eh?
Yeah, they are. They really are. There we go.
Yeah! 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 I got off the sheephead skunk. Now, I gotta say something. That is a walleye. Now, it's not a giant walleye, but it's a nice Lake Erie walleye. Get your hands off my fish. That's my Lake Erie walleye. Now, there it is with a weight forward spinner. We're gonna call that won't call it the Erie Deary. It's the John Sims weight forward word, right? But you know what? I was taking a real lot of verbal abuse from some people. Take the hook out of there. I was getting some verbal abuse from a certain person. I think I was like, six sheephead, right?
There you go.
Right?
Yeah,
I think I was about 6 sheephead and a couple silver bass. He's getting some walleye. Well, you're not getting some walleye. You had 4 walleye or 3 walleyes? 3 walleyes.
Well, I got 4 in there.
You got 4. I got 1. Okay. Like the sheephead wouldn't leave me alone. Here you go, Captain. Put him in the box.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you, and I usually do this at the end of the show, but listen, if you get the opportunity, give John Sim a call. What's the website?
Website is www.chantecharters.com.
And Chante is C-H-A-N-T-E,
yeah.
right? It's one with the walleye on it, you know, and a little bit of worm juice. But if you really want to have some fun, get out with John. He's in Kingsville, which is not too far from Windsor, right?
Yep. No, we're only 30 miles from
3
Windsor.
hours from Toronto, like down to Kingsville.
Yep.
But if you get the opportunity, you're going to catch a limit of walleye. I know I'm going to catch a limit. Sometime today, I'm going to get my limit of walleye. But I can get all the sheephead in the world. But honestly, they've got everything out here. And I've been out bass fishing with you before. It's really something.
Yep, it is. We got a good batch for it.
You've got one, and I'm going to say this, one hell of a fishery here. You really do. You've got it kind of neat. And again, if there's any, what do you call those, PETA, whatever you call those
PETA.
people? PETA? Listen, stay tuned, because I'm going to eat all the walleye I catch today. I've been on a diet for 2 weeks just so I could eat walleye. How's that feel?
And now for the Darryl Choronzey's Canadian Fisherman's Breading and Batter Mix Campfire Comment.
You know, guys, pretty good day. It was hot today. It's cooled off a little. You got some fish. You got some fish. I didn't get much today.
Guess you got to know how. You know, Darryl, lately I've been noticing there's a pile of different outdoor magazines. There's a lot of outdoor writers in newspapers and so on. What do you think their benefit is, if any?
John, I'm glad you said if any, because like I'm from the old school. I started out writing 45 years ago with the Burlington Post, and then I went to the Globe and Mail with a guy by the name of Bob Reif. And this guy had, you know, I can't use the word, but it's like basketball. This guy had the, you know, he had the drive and he was willing to fight for it. I was pretty well tutored by a guy by the name of John Powers at the Toronto Star. Then I started Ontario Fisherman Magazine. I went out to BC, came back, took the magazine back, you know, did a hell of a job with it. And I mean, it was a real success, but I think part of the reason for the success was I wasn't afraid to talk, you know, get tough and take a run at the government, take a run at the distinct societies, take a run at the netters, take a run at, you know, anybody that was hurting the fishery. And I'm not being smart today. I don't see that. I don't see most of the outdoor writers. There's Bill Thompson in Kitchener. He's not afraid to take a run, but I don't see the other outdoor writers willing to take a run at what's wrong with the fishery. I don't see the other magazines. My magazine was built because I was controversial, but I took runs at you know, what was hurting the fishery. I wasn't afraid to go for the juggler. Yeah. The magazines today, my opinion, don't want to do that. The other TV shows, like we're sitting here around the campfire, and you're saying, well, what do you think's wrong? I'm not afraid to say what's wrong. I don't see that with the other TV shows, and I'm not being smart. God bless these guys. If you're worried about losing sponsors over losing your fishery, we're in big problems. And that's what I see with the magazines. The magazines today, right across Canada, Outdoor Canada will take a run at some stuff, you know. But a lot of these magazines do not want to take a run at major issues because they don't want to look like a redneck, a racist, or a radical. Well, I'll tell you what, you better start looking, you guys that run these magazines and you people that are outdoor reporters, you better start, don't worry about being a racist or a redneck or a radical. If you're really worried about the fishery, you better run right at everybody. Mm-hmm. And that's what we're not seeing today. They're too complacent. Mm-hmm. But you know, what can I say? I guess I'm
There's
complacent.
a lot of them.
I guess I'm complacent.
I don't think so.
Going Fishing returns with more Lake Erie walleye action.
Will you quit playing around up there and get the net? John, okay, you've said you've had days. What is some of the best days you've had up here?
Best days, limit in an hour and a half
Okay.
for 6 guys.
And you've had days.
Nice fish.
Nice fish. You've had days where you've had 100 and some walleye come to the boat?
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah, we had a good weekend last weekend. It was like that.
Okay, how many fish last weekend on a good day? On a good day?
On a good day, 55, 60.
55 to 60 fish.
Yep.
Okay, you said your limit out here is 6 fish.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And I'm going to catch my 3 more fish to make sure I've got my limit. No, my 4 more fish. And, you know, John's just banging walleye. And for some reason, I'm getting sheephead, right? I'm getting a lot of sheephead.
Yep.
But I want you to know, sheephead are harder to catch. Like, no matter what anybody tells you. And I want you to know they taste great, because we are going to eat a sheephead today. But there is a technique to this, okay? And I'll show it real quick. You can put that back, okay?
Yeah, okay.
And I'm
All
just
right.
going to show you something. What you want to do is cast the wind's facing you here, the boat is drifting this way, okay? You want to cast out, and you're doing the countdown method. You leave your bail open as soon as that Erie hits the water. You leave the bail open, and right now we're going anywhere from 15 to 18, right? So you're going 1001, 1002. When you get to 15 or 18, whatever you want, you close the bail over, and you slowly start the retrieve. And John mentioned to me, when I first got in, I fish jigs a lot for walleye. John fishes Erie Dearies a lot. There is a big difference. When I'm using a jig, I'm bouncing it all the time. I'm trying to, you know, move it along the bottom, I'm bouncing it. And John was doing a number on me. I mean, the sheephead loved me at first. Maybe they just liked the little twitch. But with these walleye, your lure is slowly, you're gonna cast here, remember the boat's going this way? Your lure is slowly gonna end out from you, not to the side of you, but straight out in front of you. But you're not jigging. You're just slowly retrieving.
Yep.
You know,
Pump and drag or steady retrieve.
you can pump it ahead, and then you wind that reel to keep that line tight. But there is no jigging. You want that lure to move along in the water, just spinning, not bouncing. And John waited until he was up on me 3 or 4 fish to tell me what I was doing wrong. I don't really care. I like sheephead. Stick with us. Mr. Sim.
Oh, you
Mr.
got one,
Sim.
Darryl.
Yeah, and
That's
if this one comes up a sheephead, I'm swimming to shore. How far is it? John and I were talking, and there is a technique to this, and we're gonna let John describe it in a little while. And we'll talk about where we're casting and how we're making the retrieve with these John Sim Erie Dearies, right? Look at this.
Yes, guess
Look
what?
at this. Another one. The sheephead king of North America. I'm not kidding you.
And you got zebra mussels on the line. Look at that.
And I got a whack of zebra mussels on the line.
Yeah.
Look at the zebra mussels here. Now, there's something to show, John. Just want to break these down and get them off the line. John, can you pull this
Sheephead off?
sheephead for me? I want to get this. I want to get these zebra mussels off without wrecking my line. But there's your zebra mussel, and we're talking about an invasive species or a foreign species. This critter, or these critters, there's probably half a dozen of them here, they actually came from Europe.
Yes, they
and
did.
they came in the ballast of a boat. And what we've got now is the bottom of Lake Erie, the bottom of a lot of our other Great Lakes, even some of our inland lakes. They're just covered with these things. And these guys suck the zooplankton and all the nutrients out of the lake. And that's why you're seeing your lakes are a lot cleaner these days. But we got to do something with ballast of boats.
Yep.
You know? And it's not hurting me throwing back 6 zebra mussels into Lake Erie because there's 6 trillion of them. But they're all over the Great Lakes right now. And it's just stupidity the way we've allowed these foreign ships to come into the Great Lakes and empty their ballast out into our fresh water.
That's right.
Now, I had a little touch. Now, you're going to get these fish and they're going to hit. And if you miss them, John's got a little tip. What's the tip?
You just drop your rod back to them, open your bail, count to 4, and start retrieving. And they'll come right back.
I'll hold this fish. You go get the net. Now here, you can have your rod back. But again, you're going to get a lot of times where the walleye is going to come up and he's going to smack that worm behind the John Sim's Erie Dearie. And if you miss him, open the bail, let it fall back, and just wait for him to hit again.
Yeah, see, he takes it all the way down.
Yep.
All the way down.
They are nice looking fish.
They're
Now,
healthy. They're healthy.
You know, you said that they're almost all identical. So you get this big majority of a great year class,
Mm-hmm.
and then a couple of years you may not have a great year class, right? And then it'll bounce right back with another real top year.
Yeah, hopefully, like all these fish this year are 4 years old.
Okay.
So hopefully this is the best year class they've had on record. 20 times that they've had on record.
Really?
So these fish right here, they've all spawned this year.
Okay.
So hopefully that should produce a big spawn for it.
Now, and here's the other thing, and we'll hopefully get some pictures. We're both using hopefully, but hopefully we're going to get some pictures of the commercial tugs, right?
Yep.
This is a prime size walleye for the grocery store,
this
right?
is number one right here. Number one right here.
They don't want them any bigger, really, because of you got a better, firmer flesh.
Yep.
And a tastier fish.
Yep. There's no market for them.
Nice looking fish, John.
Yeah, beautiful.
You know, I don't know what happens in the editing suite on some of these shows, but we did already show zebra mussel. Now, whether you're going to see it or not, and the zebra mussel they're a mussel, and they come in from the ocean. They came in ballasted boats. They're a European thing, and they're all over the Great Lakes now. And we've got to watch what we're dumping into the Great Lakes as far as these boat ballasts go. And here's another one. It's a goby, right? And this thing has really found a place or a nick in the environment here. He eats a lot of mussels, but what else does he eat? He eats other fish.
Eats other fish, yeah.
You know.
Crayfish. They'll eat it as they get bigger. They'll eat crayfish.
And you said they don't have a swim bladder?
No swim bladder, and they walk on the bottom. They scoot along the bottom. You'll never find them.
That thing pops out and they do their deal.
Yep.
Yeah.
They'll never be up in the water column. You can only catch them on the bottom.
Now they have really found a nick in our Great Lakes, and gee, we don't want them in our other little lakes. So when you guys are leaving either Lake Erie or Lake Ontario or any of the Great Lakes, make sure that your live wells are disinfected after you drain them. Because you don't want these guys, I don't know if they're in the Kawarthas, they probably are. They're pretty well everywhere now. But we don't need these guys in our northern lakes because they eat things. And if they eat things, our sport fish don't have a lot to eat.
That's right.
You know?
That's right. And actually, it's against the law to use these as bait.
It is, okay.
Yeah, because there's an invasive species, so you can't.
Did you ever eat a goby?
Nope. Or a sheephead, Darryl.
Let's fish.
Yeah.
And now for the Berkeley tip of the week. Looking for a lot of fun fishing? Well, learn the Erie Deary countdown technique wherever you fish walleye. At first, it's a challenge, and then it becomes a passion.
You know, I'm going to say this one more time. This is my good friend John Sim, Chante Charters out of Kingsville, Ontario. And he fishes Pelee Island. He also fishes the North Shore. You want a lot of fun, you want to come fishing with the guys, or you want to bring the wife, or again, the wife wants to bring her boyfriend when the husband doesn't know, go with John. You want to bring the kids up here, there's non-stop fishing all the time.
Yeah. Families are welcome. No problem.
Now, I'm going to say this, and I say this all the time, you don't need winches and telephone poles when you go fishing.
That's
You
true.
know, I mean, I like the light equipment. I've got the new Abu Garcia 801, right? It's an ultralight. I've got a Fenwick Techna rod, okay? And we might as well give it a little push, eh? Trilene Max, the new monofilament, right? I mean, it's light. I was only running, well, I ran 10 here because of some rocks and zebra mussel, but you could get by out here with 6.
Oh, for sure.
Now, before we go any farther, he doesn't use downriggers and he doesn't use planer boards, and you're not trolling. When you're coming with John, the rod's always in your hand, so you're having a lot of fun. What are we going to call this again? It's a weight forward spinner.
It's a weight forward spinner, yeah.
The John Sims weight forward spinner. You know, and
it's a copycat. It's a takeoff of the Erie Deary. Yep.
It's a copy. John makes them, but you can buy the Erie Dearies, and Meps used to have one at one time. I don't think it's on the market anymore.
No, it's not.
And John and I both use a lot of power baits, but out here, you prefer, and it's up to you. You prefer dew worms on your weight forward.
Right there. Yep.
Okay, how are you hooking them?
Okay, you actually hook them through the head.
Yep.
And that back through the little ring on their neck.
Okay.
And that's it. And that's all a part of the presentation.
And the idea, again, is it's countdown fishing. If you're in 18 feet of water, it's 1,001, 1,002, up to 1,018.
Right.
You know, and if the fish are a little higher, then you know that by if you stop at 1,015 or whatever.
That's right.
And the other thing is that bait's going down. It's digging because it's got that lead head, and it does catch a lot of fish.
Yeah, that drops a foot a second. So
There you go.
when you're doing your count.
Okay, we are going back. You're going to show them how we clean fish with electric knife and how we cook up fish with my new batter.
For sure.
Okay, let's go for it. Thank you.
Thanks, Darryl.
Thank you.
Going Fishing returns with the Napoleon Barbecue's Shore Lunch.
Okay, buddy, you showed me where to catch the fish, how to catch the fish, how to clean the fish. I'm going to show you a new way of cooking the fish.
Perfect.
Look at what I've got. It's an ego complex, right? Darryl Choronzey's breading and batter mix. And John, what it's got, and honestly, I've spent almost 50 years looking for the proper way to do fish. It's got milk in it, it's got eggs in it, and it's got a lot of seasoning in it, right? Now, you do me a favor, drop those fillets in that bag of the mixture and shake them up good. Now, we do have the fillets moist, okay? We've got some water on them, and that helps the coating mix to stick on the fillets.
You want to do just the
Give her
four
a
first?
shake, sure.
Okay.
Now, do you think the oil's ready?
It's getting close.
Okay, I'm gonna get you to just gently put them in there, right? Let them
Okay.
bubble up.
Alrighty.
Hold it.
Oh, that looks good.
Doesn't that look great? John, you can use your fork if you want. I'm just gonna use my fingers, okay?
Okay, good.
Not when even when I'm in Kingsville, I can use my fingers.
Boy, that is good.
Isn't that good?
That is really good.
Hey, I spent a little bit of time on this. Again, Darryl Choronzey's Canadian Fisherman's Breading and Batter Mix. Now, what goes better? Northern walleye or Lake Erie walleye?
Well, let me tell you, I'm kind of partial to my own fish here.
So am I. This stuff is great. Good.
Very good, very good.
Listen, if you get the chance, don't pass up the opportunity to go fishing with my good buddy here, John Sim. He's out of Kingsville, Ontario, and he fishes Pelee Island and the North Shore of Lake Erie. And what's the name of that company that you own again?
Chante
Chante?
Fishing Charters.
Okay, www, Chante Fishing Charters. You go with this guy, and you'll catch walleye, and he'll clean your walleye, and you'll cook your walleye.
Sure will.
We'll see you next week. This is great.
That is good.
Oh, great. Hey, here, try.
For more information on today's fishing location and other going fishing destinations, visit goingfishingtv.com. Going Fishing with Darryl Choronzey has been brought to you in part by Yamaha. When you want the best, Abu Garcia for life. Berkeley, catch more fish. And by Darryl Choronzey's Canadian Fisherman's Breading and Batter Mix.
Going fishing.